Hey guys, welcome to Pep Talk, the podcast that gives you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God, where we take all these crazy, complex health, wellness, and medical topics that are in the news, in the media every day. We make them super simple and digestible for you to understand so that you can take some knowledgeable action steps to improve your health and the well-being and the lives of your families. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. I'm going to be taking you down our journey today on Pep Talk. We're going to be talking about a new study that was just released that is bringing some serious light to the conversation about pesticides and cancer. Look, I remember, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. When I first found out about Roundup and Roundup Ready that was happening with Monsanto some 20 years ago, we said, hey, look, the studies are showing it's a carcinogen. The studies are showing that this disrupts your hormones. The studies are showing that this is not okay. And it's going to cause a lot of short-term problems, but some major long-term problems. And well, we were called quacks. We were called crazy because those that have the big money and the megaphones that made billions and billions of dollars off of our suffering put that into our food supply. And now multi-billion-dollar class action lawsuits have proven that we were right then and we're right now. Check out this study. There's a new study that shows highest cancer rates in individuals are tied to regions of the world with the highest uses of pesticides. And I'm going to show you, we live in a toxic world. And when I say toxic, I say Toxic, toxic. We're toxic because the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, the stuff we wash our clothes with, you name it, has toxins in it. We now I'm in this room right now. There's Wi-Fi all over the place. We have EMF toxins that are all over. It is now harder to keep healthy people healthy and to get sick people well than there ever has been because of all the toxins in the world. And with novel methods to produce high picture view of overlapping between pesticides and cancers, I'm looking at the study right now, the study done by Jacob Gherkin, a DO, and their colleagues called Comprehensive Assessment of Pesticides use patterns to show the increase of cancers across the globe. Here's what they found. They found that areas where they were using and spreading pesticides, herbicides, larvicides, fungicides, and etc. that they spray on your food, those areas have an increase of cancer compared to others that do not have that. In fact, they found that there's an increase in colorectal cancer, an increase in numerous other types of skin cancers, and they found that one of the biggest reasons was because of a study that was done in 2022, Beyond Pesticides discussed the evidence that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency colluded, your government agencies colluded with Monsanto in 2017 to downplay the carcinogenous effects of glyphosate, even after the International Agency of Research on Cancer made the connection in 2015. So let's pause and put a pin in that. In 2015, the Cancer Research Associations found the correlation and causation between glyphosate, which is the common compound inside pesticides, and increased cancer. They shared that information with the Environmental Protection Agency, and in 2017, the Environmental Protection Agency colluded with Monsanto to downplay the cancer-causing effects of glyphosate. Millions of people contracted symptoms, sicknesses, and diseases because of the government collusion. By the way, the Environmental Protection Agency just this last year came out with a study that they've been suppressing for 2 years. There was a FOIA request in order for this study to be released that shows that there's no safe level of fluoride allowed in the human body. But yet the Environmental Protection Agency says it's okay for fluoride to be in your tap water or the water that your children are drinking out of in the water fountains in school. It's the same Environmental Protection Agency that are controlled by lobbyists, that are controlled by big pharma and controlled by big food. This is exactly what's happening. And if they're doing that to our food supply and doing that to our water supply, what else are they controlling? An important study the authors made is that, and I'm going to quote them, more pesticide use leads to higher cancer incidences, period. No evidence has ever reported of pesticides reducing cancer rates. Okay. And the EPA covered this up. All right, look at this. Cancer combined. Let me read this from the beginning about leukemia and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which, by the way, I will tell you that I come originally from a rural farm community, and we have seen a massive increase in leukemia and non-Hodgkin's lymphomas in individuals that have used Roundup, glyphosate, and all these other compounds on Roundup Ready beans and Roundup Ready corn and all this kind of stuff. It's so crazy. It's so common sense to know that if these compounds are sprayed on our food, that they're going to get into you, or they're going to get into the animals that eat the food that you eat. You ever heard that phrase, you are what you eat, but you also are what you eat eats? Like, that's really a real thing. But for whatever reason, the United States government tried to lie to you or persuade you that it wasn't. By the way, this is the same government that put together the food pyramid, which was one of the biggest lies that was ever told us. The food pyramid is a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool. There is zero, nada, zilch, none, no evidence that shows that our food pyramid actually helps support a happy, healthy, cellular life or helps individuals. Do you remember when the food pyramid came out and they told us to eat, 12 to 14 servings of carbohydrates a day? Are you kidding me? That's when we got fat as a society. And they said that good, healthy fats are bad for you. Oh my gosh. That's the craziest thing you could ever believe in. And again, doctors like myself and other, people who understand physiology and don't get paid to, steal, kill, and destroy said, hey, wait a minute, this is a problem. And now come to find out, we again were right about that. So here's what they found. Incidences of leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, bladder, colon, lung, and pancreatic cancer, and all cancers combined are comparable to smoking in individuals who are around pesticides, and in some instances, even worse. By the way, there's a compound in some of these pesticides called astrazin, and astrazin. Astrazin is a compound that increases the risk for colon cancer and other cancers in the body. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, bladder cancer, leukemia, all linked to pesticides, higher than smoking. Current study from 2018, this goes back a few years, glyphosate and cancer, based on agricultural health studies, 90,000 farmers and their spouses, they found an increase between glyphosate and cancers in the lymphatic system. Folks, we've known about this for a while. Real science and real researchers have known about this. So what do you do? Number one, you got to do the best you can to avoid exposures to pesticides, herbicides, largicides, fungicides, etc. That's eating organic. By the way, when I was a kid, we didn't have organic food. We just had food. We just had real food, right? And you can't wash this stuff off. It gets inside the seeds. It gets inside the meat of the fruits and vegetables. It gets inside the animals that eat this stuff because it gets in their cells, it gets in their tissues, it gets in their proteins, it gets in the meat of the animals. So what do? You got to do everything you can to minimize your exposure to this. Now, how do we detoxify this from our body? Man, that is a complex, very complex question. The first thing you need to do is understand how to eat for your body type, how to eat for your blood type, and how to eat for your DNA composition. There are simple tests you can do, a simple swab or a saliva test that measures over 800,000 genes in your body that can tell you what you should eat, how you should sleep, how you should supplement, etc. You can understand the 4 body types. And based off of your body types, you can decide, how am I supposed to eat off my body type? And then understanding your blood type. You can combine blood typing, body typing, and DNA testing to get a real good idea of what it is that you should be doing from a food standpoint. And avoid these foods the best you can. And if you have gene imbalances like MTHFR, you're going to have more problems detoxing these pesticides than anybody else that's out there that doesn't have those gene imbalances. So then there's all about fixing the gut, because we know that whenever you eat glyphosate on a regular basis, it causes leaky gut syndrome. It disrupts the normal gut bacteria in the body. So that's why we recommend doing a keto type of a food plan, or a modified carnivore type food plan, where we're instigating intermittent fasting, where you're eating 2 meals a day, whether it's your breakfast and your lunch and skipping dinner, or skipping breakfast and having lunch and dinner and eating clean, healthy foods during that time. Having the right supplements, minerals, and vitamins in your diet. utilizing certain peptides. We know that BPC 157, body protective composition peptide, has massive abilities to help improve gut function, because when you're taking these glyphosates, it causes the cells in the GI tract to separate. And when those cells separate, it allows toxins to leak out of the intestinal tract into the bloodstream. And then they go to your cells of your body. And then they go to your tissues. And then they go to your organs. And then you become sick from that. So taking a break from eating crappy foods is going to help you, but then also taking a master microbiotic formula that uses cultured and cultivated spore-based bacteria that has the right fungi and bacteria in it is a massive important thing to do. Also using detoxification compounds. Like, I'm a big fan of diatomaceous earth. I'm a huge fan of activated charcoal. Activated charcoal and diatomaceous earth are binders. They're going to bind the toxins and poisons in the body and help pull them out of the GI tract. I'm also a huge fan of using things like fulvic and humic acid. Humic and fulvic acid are really good minerals. They're detoxifiers. They help the body repair damage from toxins. I'm a big fan of using carbon 60. Carbon 60 are the buckyballs. Really great detoxifier as well. There's other things like zeolites, but if you're going to use a zeolite, you got to use a cliniptino zeolite, a nano size, so that it can get into the lymph and into the bloodstream. I mean, utilizing these techniques can help. Even doing something as simple as taking an organic baking soda. You take a half a teaspoon at nighttime in some warm water, maybe with a squeeze of lemon, with a little bit of organic baking soda, can help alkaline your body. Alkaline is the key. Otto Weinberg won a Nobel Prize in the 1950s, showing that if you have an alkaline system, it reduces your risk of having a disease state of your body. But at the end of the day, folks, you need to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's happening, because if you don't know your environment, you don't know what's out there, what you don't know can and will kill you. So, folks, I'm going to encourage you to go back and watch this podcast and share it with your friends and family members and put some of those things that I told you into play. Because, look, if you're trying to do all the things from a natural standpoint to improve the quality of your health, and you're not looking at the labels, and you're not avoiding pesticides and herbicides and larvicides, your body is chemically filled up with toxins, and you are now toxic. Your liver's toxic, and your body's going to get sick from that. So, folks, make sure you go back, watch this podcast, share it with your friends and family members and loved ones. Make sure you go to our website. That's peptalk.world, peptalk.world. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on all of our platforms, all the stuff that we do. And, folks, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Stay smart out there, folks, and I'll see you next time. Be well.